like I haven't clicked the button, so we are totally not live.
Lying.
Not live, right?
He's lying.
No.
We are live, theoretically.
Oh, I mean, yeah, all bets are off.
So, hi, everybody. Episode 65.
65, 56.
64 and a half, because last week's stream definitely didn't happen. And nope.
Something fishy about that stream.
Don't know what you're talking about.
So, definitely something fishy
Just
going on.
running in circles.
So yeah, hi. Cask Strength live stream stuff. I don't know. We have a guest.
We do. Very special guest.
Hi,
Yes.
everyone. My name's Jeremy.
Not you. Nobody cares about you. I mean, some people do, I guess. I don't know. I would
This is
assume.
the type of thing that we need to advertise before you come on.
No.
Christina, because then we get lots of viewers.
No.
And that's all we're in it for is the viewers, okay?
True, but that would mean we would have to know in advance that we're getting a guest.
Oh,
And
I knew in advance.
that sounds like something a producer would deal with. So
Was I supposed to tell you guys?
I mean, I definitely don't care, so you don't have to tell me. It's all good. Always a good time to have Christina around.
Yeah.
You should wait to see the guest next week.
On Christina's request, we're drinking American whiskey today because it's her favorite. She was saying that she gets a lot of hype about, is you actually, my
There you go. Oh,
Christ, I didn't
yeah.
even know if y'all had any up in there.
They definitely have some.
It has some. Currently,
I'm starting with
Yes.
technically
Yeah.
not a bourbon, but Angel's Envy.
Yeah, no, as long as it's American, I think we're going to just going with good old American,
Yep.
which I owe my love for whiskey to. If it wasn't for American whiskeys, namely Rise and bourbon, I wouldn't have got into it. And I will admittedly say now that I'm like strictly a Scotch guy. Not strictly, but I'm like definitely a Scotch guy. And
Sure.
if I'd like to say any different, is a look at my shelves will show
Right.
it talking smack. And this is quite literally, this little thing here is the only Americans I have now in the joint. So I blame all y'all because I definitely never thought I would be where I am today. And that's like super heavy peated Isla, as everyone knows. I'm not just trying to score some points here so I don't get stabbed.
That's the good stuff.
That's just the reality of it. And it is the good stuff. And
I didn't want to be the primary person at the top left, so I made Brad the primary person at the top.
Brad's primary now. So if you guys have any complaints about the stream or anything at all, it's all on Brad. He's the primary person.
Yep.
Sure. You know those emails go directly into the trash, right? When they get sent to me, it's fine. I have a filter set up, so I don't need to worry about that. You can send me all the hate mail you want.
So Mike Meyer says he's 90% bourbon here, but willing to learn. So Mike, I used to be 100% bourbon. Little bit of Canadian here and there, but not by choice. I was quite literally every single bottle I had in my collection was bourbon. For about a 2 or 3 year period, I explored a lot and tried pretty much every bourbon that was available in our provincially controlled stores, which isn't a lot. But bourbon was my jam through and through. The times I did try Scotch, I wasn't really into it. Mind you, they were poor Scotches to try and form an opinion on Scotch over. Even with a nicer Scotch, though, you can't form an opinion until you've had like friggin' 20 different Scotches, because that's just still a tiny sample of what's available out there.
Oh, sure.
And I know
And that's just in one region. But
That's
before you
right.
start going to another
That's
region.
right. You can, and bourbon, while I do love it, and it gets joked about a lot, and it's just the truth for me, there's not the complexity that there just is available in Scotches. And even the peated Scotches, where right away you're getting that hard peat smack, there's still so many fantastic layers underneath it that carry on for such a long time that I find I don't get so much in a lot of bourbon. But there are some really, really interesting newer whiskeys out there. And by newer, I mean not, 200 or 300 years old.
Sure.
because there's some pretty most bourbon is fairly old in relation to the ownership and distilleries and that, but
or at least the base recipe and manufacturing.
yeah, and like truthfully, Iron Root, small distillery y'all may have heard of. It actually is a super complex whiskey. It's got a lot of different layers there and a decent finish, and there's a lot of love in there. So it's not just your bit of vanilla, bit of caramel, bit of toffee, cherry, whatever, and then that oak finish.
Yeah. Nice
Yeah,
thing
so-
about younger distilleries like that, especially in bourbon, they'll just do whatever. They'll just try stuff because
Yeah, you know, that would
they're
be
going to get a standard bourbon if they do all the normal things, and there's already a million of those. So they
Well,
gotta just like, I don't know. Nobody is doing X. Let's see if that's any good. Maybe it'll suck. Maybe it'll be okay. We might as well
Well,
try.
it's that whole risk to the business thing, right?
yeah.
Like
So
you find a formula, you whatever you make, you for most scotches at least, you got to sit on for 8 to 10 years before you've got a saleable product. You just don't have the overhead for a lot of these places, especially at the moment, to experiment.
right.
Yeah.
So the point of my whole rant there, Mike, give Scotch a try, but don't discount it until you've really honestly tried many different kinds, because the diversity really is there. There's even in like Jeremy was saying, even in the same region, you can't just try, a Highland and not enjoy it and say, oh, I don't like Highland Scotch, because it's so vast and diverse. And you got to really give it a shot, and sometimes give. That's all we're saying, man. Give Scotch a try. All we are saying,
Need a lighter.
give Scotch a try.
There you go.
But also another thing, that a piece of advice I will give: a lot of people online, mainly like in the tribe or other pages, will recommend like a nice soft space cider for a transition from bourbon. And what I'm going to suggest is actually try some heavy peated Isla, because if you like bourbon and maybe if you like the higher proof stuff, it's very bold, it's very strong, you're drinking some whiskey. I went into heavy peated right away, and it's unbelievable. I love it so much, and I think that coming from a lot of barrel proof bourbons, that strong peat flavor was just very, very interesting. And revisit whatever bottle or sample, however method you go, just revisit it, give it some time, and think about it, and hopefully you join the peat side of things, because it is a good side to be on. It is delicious stuff.
What you doing?
Graham, 20% Canadian is pretty impressive.
Good boy.
Because I'm not even quite there yet. Having said that, there are a lot of awesome Canadians out there now that I would be happy buying and having on my shelf. But up until recent times, not so much.
Yeah, I probably have, I don't know, 15 bottles of Canadian whiskey. Thereabouts, a dozen, 15, something like that.
Is this
So-
Canadian?
Mike, that's
Close
awesome.
enough.
Those are great.
Compared to Australia, close enough.
This is Canadian though. The Lord Calvert.
It
That
is.
was tasty.
So yeah, Mike, if you're willing to learn, you're already at that level and you're enjoying the peat stuff. I think you can really go for a big exploration now. Talisker 10 is fantastic. Lefroy 10, Ardbeg Ugadel is one of the best. One of the best, readily available, fairly affordable, depending on where you are, scotches on the planet. In my opinion, it's absolutely marvelous. Certainly for a core range that again is available all year, every year. If you're digging that, I would say spend a little more time going around Isla. Maybe try some Octomore if you can get your hands on some.
Yeah.
Port Charlotte.
Yeah, any Brooklotti stuff, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all.
Peated or not, just go out and
Yeah.
get some Bruichladdich. Yeah.
Seriously.
And that's right, Graham. Yeah, Lechag 10 is absolutely
Oh.
fantastic. Everything that they put out, that I've had at least, has been marvelous. Nice little funk in there.
Oh.
Wee Beastie fun. Wee Beastie, I see, is really starting to kind of snowball and in the distribution and become available a
So-
hell of a lot more.
So someone on this stream right now has had Wee Beastie, right?
Someone.
Someone. I
yeah.
don't know if anyone can guess who.
Wouldn't be me.
They sent it to.
Fuck, Jeremy.
They sent it to the cult headquarters to make sure it was okay before they released it.
It was actually tested on them 5 years ago, so they did like the taste testing then, and then had to wait for 5 years for the product that was approved to hit the market.
Yeah, no, Wee Beastie is good. The neck pour is a little on the tarry side, but after that, it definitely mellows out. It's pretty good.
Nice. Yeah, I hear a lot of good things about it. Haven't had the chance yet, and it's not like I could escape to the little haven of whiskey that I have in New Jersey. So.
I keep
Graham, see, they've got-
sending you transport methods. I've sent you a helicopter. I've sent you a Harrier. I've sent you a Hunter. All
Can
of
you,
those
can
options,
you
right?
imagine just like showing up in a Harrier?
Like,
I'm sorry about
can you
your
imagine-
barn, but
Yeah,
like I
just
need a
blowing-
place
just
to
blowing
live.
lighting things on fire, blowing people setting up car alarms, just trying to like get down.
Hey, could you imagine like the next ball that actually happens? Just how baller it'd be to just rock up,
Would be pretty
jump
fun.
down, have a cask strength symbol on the side so you can use it as a tax write-off.
Now we're talking. Okay. You paying negative taxes for years if that's a tax write-off.
Right?
So Patrick Fulmer with a hey Ed, said pop in there. Patrick Fulmer with the kind of actually popular opinion, probably in this group for sure, but there are a lot of incredible non-peated scotches. A lot of them are still from Isla, so like it says a lot. But there's a lot of really, 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 really great stuff, and even some of the lighter peated stuff like Highland Park. I absolutely love Highland Park. Just enough
So,
in there.
Is a two-wheel drive Jeep is like half as less likely to break its transmission though, right?
There's that, I guess.
Oh,
Fair.
oh, that's awesome.
Transmission, they're replaceable. It's fine.
Says the man with a Land Rover.
Yeah, but you have a proper Landy.
Yeah. Still no oil leaks. I'm still worried about that.
It's going somewhere. The oil has to be going somewhere. It's
The old
leaking out
adage
somewhere.
the old adage is if it's not leaking, it's broken. So somewhere it must be broken.
Yeah. It's collecting somewhere.
So, anyways, I'm into the Weller Antique 107.
Oh, nice.
That is the one argument that I always have to give to counter our complaints of super high priced and poor selection of bourbon, because we had these by the dozens on all shelves in Ontario for 35 Canadian. At the very same time that I saw legitimate shops online in the States selling for 199 American. And certainly that is obviously jacked up, but all things considered, it's the one I use in that argument.
I'm going to be honest. The mental image I had was him vaping the Peak Monster. Just
Yeah, how does
Yeah,
actually,
I wonder
the
how
science,
would that
Bradley.
work?
did you maybe like drop a little onto a bud or something and get super crazy there?
That
Or-
would be interesting.
Mhm.
Could be worth exploring a little bit.
Graham, nice one. That is Kathleen's batch, I think. Either way, I have the 0118, and it is spectacular. One of my favorite bookers. I don't think I have any more left. I think that one's long gone, but really, really delicious. We in Canada, for those of you that are potentially going to talk about bookers in the chat, we only get the first release. We only get the 01. of the year. So while you guys get multiple batches of bookers in a year, we only get one. And
And we have to look up the name because it's just called Oh What.
yeah, yeah, we literally have to look up the name because it's pure. Yeah, Kathleen's batch. So that's my second favorite bookers I've ever had. I've
That's a good
had 6 or 7 or 8 different bookers, but Kathleen's batch is definitely my second and almost first favorite ever. You can't go wrong. And yeah, Peter White, it is $65 now when they have it in stock, which they haven't for quite some time. And that great price increase was going from a screw to a cork.
Oh, yeah.
Which makes it worse.
Doubling the price.
And a screw top is better.
This is a good screw top.
What are they doing?
This is actually a good screw top. I tend to overturn screw tops commonly. And as a lot of my friends will know, Dave knows I tighten things very tight. And hey, Dave, thanks for popping in. So yeah, it's nice. This one has not stripped or anything. It's friggin' fantastic. Yeah, that's right. See, if you guys actually tune in, you'll get crazy surprises sometimes. We have guests that are worth watching, but you got to tune in every time and take the chance. Sometimes,
And if you
We're
notice,
not going to tell you in advance because then you'll know not to watch when we don't have a good guest.
that's true. That's true. And yeah, so and just to say, folks, for Dave to say that I screw things tight is saying a lot because he's he's very, very strong. Like he has massive hands and could like bend like iron. So if he's saying that I'm tightening something, you gotta it's legit. Yeah, see there you go. But that's something I've always done. I get into a lot of trouble with Dwyer actually because like jars and lids and stuff I screw, like water bottles. All of our water bottles and like my kid's water bottle, I tighten them so much she's like trying so hard and like their face is straining and I always have to open up the stuff. It's a problem.
Just mean. It's just your excuse to feel needed.
it's literally you know the whole
keep me around if she can't open the jars.
Yeah. You know that whole, you drugged your wife to get them addicted to your present sort of thing. He's just doing the same thing. He tightens everything so tight that she can't get into any food substance or bottles. She's trapped.
Yeah, Dave's hands are like he could just like crush people's head if he wanted to.
Thank you, Patrick. You're a
Oh geez, cheers,
Patrick.
What?
Cheers, buddy. I prefer this veto to this is one of the best vetoes we have had. I will fully admit that.
That's harsh, but it is what it is.
I mean,
sorry,
there's the original veto, there's Dutch veto, and this veto.
There was other vetoes.
Yeah.
Oh, there's that bearded guy.
Irish veto.
There was a redheaded Irish veto.
That's the original veto.
large veto.
Terry, the redheaded Irish one is the original veto.
Yeah.
All that talk of peat, I had to switch to some Westland peated, which is technically American whiskey, which falls under the rule that
Yep.
me and Dan had.
Yep.
I just have coffee because I have to go to work because I'm in my work clothes.
That's terribly responsible of you.
I know, right?
For a Friday morning, it's terribly responsible.
It's disgusting.
Living in the future is harsh sometimes. I guess.
I have to say that at $35, it's one of the best tastes per value bourbon that I've had. But if this makes sense, I'd rather pay $100 for E.H. Taylor single barrel than I would pay $35 for the Antique 107. I don't believe the hype. I don't believe the hype on about 99% of bourbons, to be honest. And I can say that I've tried them. I'm obviously not going to comment on stuff I haven't tried because that's silly. But the hype that says surrounds us, like I've seen this bottle go for hundreds in the States, and again, like the state where it comes from, I've seen it for that. So that's crazy. Again, at $60 or $65, probably still not a bad buy. but I would much sooner pick up a Wild Turkey rare breed, or even a Jack Daniel's single barrel rye.
I was going to say I'd just go Jack Daniels any day.
Yep, Jack Daniel's. That actually, I'm going to get into some of that. That Jack Daniel's single barrel rye is still one of the best ryes I've ever had. It's amazing.
It is solid,
Nice.
sure.
Wow, Christina's been blowing my mind right now. Actually, I didn't think there was any of that. It's always hidden.
I mean,
There's a few. I know they have at least a few.
Yeah,
American-
she's showing the bottle of something and then coming back with this mysteriously lighter looking.
I store mine in the
Nice. I haven't had that, believe it or not. How is that, Jeremy?
It is good. I store it in the freezer because out of the freezer.
Well, you live in Australia. You should store. I'd be storing my fucking underwear in the freezer if I lived in Australia.
It is very nice to pour a healthy glug into a glass and then just go sit down.
I believe it.
And Dan, when I lived in the Northern Territory, which is right at the top where it's boiling hot, we stored everything in the fridge as a minimum: bread, Vegemite, everything.
I believe it. Yeah.
If it was shelf stable, it had better be a dry good, because anything that had you just could not store it. It was so humid and so hot.
Yeah, that's crazy. How is that compared to the standard Jack, and what is the difference? Because I literally haven't even looked into it. Is it a higher ABV? Is it older?
I think it's double distilled. It's exactly the same ABV. So we get 40% here. I know some markets still get 38 for their base Jack. But it's 40%, so there's no real thing. But it's double mellowed. So it's kind of got a little bit more of a woody note, not much. But it holds up a little nicer to ice drinking neat than just plain Jack.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. For Lance's answer is actually not a bad one. I think he knows how to navigate his way around this relationship, but
oh no,
he's right.
He knows that most of the good ones I did buy. a good number of them, not most.
So you heard it here first. The Jack Daniels is hers, therefore it makes it a good bourbon. End argument.
Yeah. And Jack Daniels is a bourbon. Just
My favorite argument.
That's not. Yeah, that's
just factual.
That's just a fact. Casey said, yeah, Peter White, the Knob Creek single barrel at $59 is an incredible deal. I would also sooner buy that than the Weller 107, for sure. It's a great single barrel, and it's almost cask strength. And I say almost because every single bottle I've ever had for a single barrel is 60%.
I think they all are, unless you do a real specialty with them. I don't know if there's exceptions, but generally they bring it down to 60 regardless.
Yeah, and that's definitely still super high, and it might literally be from 61.6 or whatever, but it's still not a true cask strength, because the likelihood of something coming out at a flat 60 is pretty fucking rare.
Yeah.
No, it'll be cask strength because they proof it down in the cask.
Oh yeah, that's the other argument we had. If they proof it in the cask and then waiting coming out of the
Yep.
With heavy air quotes.
Yeah, most of people's whiskey collections in the States and abroad are
I don't think I don't have that many bottles. There's a lot there, but there's not that many. Jeez.
I think Patrick's got more Patrick whiskey than he's got Brad whiskey. I'm almost certain of it.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I know I've got more.
I don't think he's got any Brad whiskey currently, unless I don't remember doing something, which is possible technically.
There's been a few nights in the last 4
I know there's at least 2 bottles in Ireland currently.
I don't know who said yes to that, Brad.
Yeah, 105 is the same, but it's the traditional 105 proof, and that's why it's always at that same percent. And yeah, Peter, it's not technically cask strength, but it's certainly way up there, and it's a flat number. But yeah, it's
high enough.
It's high, yeah.
It's
High
sort of like
ABV.
the Talisker 57 North, like not technically cask strength, but like, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's
It's-
not at 40 just to get it out the door.
Yeah.
Oh, so when does the Del Buck Distillery Cut come out, Patrick? Asking for a friend.
Friend.
That's the Delback is that the Arizona stuff, right? Yeah, I believe. That's
That sounds right.
Patrick's neck of the woods.
I remember Brad's had it in the past and he enjoyed it.
Yes.
I had a
Very-
Delbach.
I've had at least a couple of Delbach things, and they were
I'm
good.
pretty sure that did we not used to have any available up here?
I don't know. I definitely haven't bought any here. I've only had tastes.
Yeah, Patrick,
Other places.
has Delbach strictly make whiskey, or have they made any rum or tequila?
Oh, I thought they made
Or-
some agave thing, didn't they? Like a mezcal, that's it.
I really remember, quite honestly, seeing some at the LCBO, the name Delbach, and the bottle. Okay, strictly single malt. So yeah, probably not then, because I mean we don't get anything that's not like Kentucky. We don't get. So yeah, but I could have sworn that we did see it, and I suppose it is possible. Sometimes the LCBO does surprise us, but
Dorados. Okay, so they got a new make called Dorado, and that's it. Okay, I must be
Alright.
getting
fair enough. Graham was earlier saying Booker's here is $90 Canadian, and for me, while we're on the topic of American, as far as bourbon goes, that $100 retail I've found is the maximum worth it point. Being there are quite a few $100 bourbon that I really, really enjoy and are worth it. But anything that
Oh, he's running out of bottle.
Dan's ice might have melted.
No more Dan.
Well, he'll figure it out.
I'll just put that photo that I took earlier of him back up.
Yeah, that's good. We really need to be able to just replace like one camera with an image or something. That would be amazing.
I mean, yeah, it's not the same. Oh no, he's dead now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, well,
fake
he died.
black
It's a shame.
visage. Why is Booker's too hard?
Special releases online today at the LCBO. I haven't done any of that.
What, Bradley? You're slipping in your old age.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
no,
called trying to stay on budget because I just bought a new car.
Yeah, but you traded your old car for it, so it's
Yeah,
not.
I mean, it didn't cover the whole cost though. Almost.
Did you get a new Tesla? Did I miss
Yeah,
that?
I switched my Model 3 for a Model Y.
Yeah, and he's got custom sticker coming up, so it says Model Y bother driving.
That doesn't seem like the thing that I would do sober.
Sober. There's your. Why can't I find?
Dan's so cool, he's frozen. That's right.
Dan freeze frame haze. That's a good one.
Like the end of one of those 80s movies where it's just a freeze frame.
It seems apropos.
You are kidding me. What stupid search.
You having trouble?
I shit you not. So I type in Bookers to look for Bookers, right? And I leave off the apostrophe. And then that's like why I'm not getting Bookers. Or at least that's what I thought.
Oh, Dan really did die. It's
Yeah.
a real shame.
That means we have to talk.
Yeah. Oh, Christina, do more talking.
What?
No,
Wait, no, my strategy is backwards. Drink more, and then we'll have a real conversation. Once we're both drunk.
But Brad, we don't have real conversations. We feel our feelings when we're both drunk and we express it
That's the
verbally.
same thing.
Not good
Wait,
content.
It's fine.
what's this feelings plural thing?
Exactly.
Yeah, I got the one. It's fine.
Oh, there you go.
Guys, you'll never
Good.
guess what happened.
The ice ran out.
Yeah, I didn't. I figured that my elevated stand, keeping it off the desk would work, but I was horribly mistaken.
So unprofessional.
But it was a good excuse to move on to my next dram, which is Little Book Chapter 3, The Road Home, which is a 9-year Basil Hayden's, 9-year Knob Creek, 11-year Booker's, and a 12-year Baker's at 60.3%. And it's
That's
fantastic.
healthy.
It might be my favorite Little Book so far. And I think it's actually the last one, judging by the Road Home. But maybe this is just the Road Home, and there'll be another release called, like, Home. I don't know.
We got home.
We got home. We arrived.
Or it'll be like Porch Light or something, you know.
Hey, Whiskey Friend, thanks for joining us. I caught a little bit of the 2000 sub stream. I need to finish that up. If you guys haven't checked out the Whiskey Friend,
Didn't you hit 2,000?
check him out.
Nice work.
Check him out because
He's bigger than us now.
They're way more professional than us, so that makes sense.
Oh well, yeah, that's not difficult.
Oh, yeah.
we
That bar is pretty low. But still, you know.
the bar is quite low. But I like to think that we have more fun than a lot of other channels.
I mean, sure as shit, we do a lot less planning.
That is accurate.
You guys,
Yeah, Graham. Little Book 4 will be go to bed. And it'll be like a 65% knockout. But they've done a really great job. If you guys are into American whiskeys and you haven't tried any of the Little Books, give them a shot. Because the blending that goes on in them is incredible. The chapter 2, which is called No Simple Task, has the oldest Canadian whiskey ever produced blended into it at the time. Now it's a couple years older, but really, really fantastic whiskeys that go into these blends that actually taste fantastic.
They're good.
Oh yeah, it's just such a strong oak cask note on the nose every time. It's amazing though, and like for blending 4 of those whiskeys together, I don't know. I'm always amazed at blending, and I understand the concept behind it. You could make a fantastic blend out of lots of stuff. In fact, I had a Infinity bottle that impressed quite a few people, and it was guessed as a compass, some type of compass box.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
So you can blend, and that's the first Infinity bottle that I actually did try to kind of somewhat engineer and not just throw random stuff in. But it always impresses me blending whiskeys because of all the many ones that I've made, after streams and just pouring some stuff together that have tasted absolutely horrible. It always impresses me.
And it's one of those weird dark arts that, you honestly don't know how that shit is going to play until you do it. Because you can have flavors that would not normally complement each other or whatever. And for some unknown reason, you put them together, they freaking work. And then there are other things that you would think, this will work really good, it'll be fantastic. And it doesn't. And it falls flat on its ass.
Yeah. And it's really disappointing. In fact, the last 2 post-stream blends that I've done, when I've had a bit left in the glass of what we've had, have been bad, unfortunately. But there certainly has been a few that I've mixed that have the sum was definitely greater than its parts, and it's always a wonderful surprise when you do that. And that's the fun of the whole thing. That's why the whole non-snob attitude and movement has been probably one of the best things for the whiskey industry since Prohibition ended.
Only 4 hours to 4 to 5 hours. Those are rookie numbers, Alan. Come on.
That's also where the professionalism comes in. So, yeah.
Yeah, he knows when
Hour
to
like
shut her
8
down.
or 9, things get real sloppy.
Yeah,
Hour 14, we should not be trusted.
yeah, yeah.
Tho-
No,
tho-
that
those,
is
are, those are the ones we don't broadcast, though.
that's the
Oh, that's
force.
because we can't be trusted. Also, Alan, you are welcome to come on at any stage. We are,
Oh, absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, that is another point. He had his shirt on. Most other streams are fully clothed for the duration, and that's
Most of them.
That's
I can think of at least one other stream that tends to lack a shirt.
Pardon?
occasionally.
what's up. Absolutely not, my love. Yeah, shirts don't last forever around these parts. Once an Ed makes an appearance, it's pretty much
It's tricky to keep shirts on around him.
They
for some reason.
fly
I don't know
right
what
off.
The issue is.
Look, Erica manages it, as far as we know.
As far as the streams, at least, sure.
Yeah, as far as the streams are concerned.
But she doesn't show up on camera all the time, though, so it's hard to say.
yeah.
So for all we know, she's just there on the other side of the camera.
No
Pointing
judgment.
This is a pre-recorded video.
Yep.
Graham, earlier you mentioned you were going to pick up Wee Beasties tomorrow or this week or something. Are they available in your province for purchase, or is that a special arrangement that you had? Because that will kind of give us a bit of insight as to when we're going to see it, although not fully because.
So Richard,
Yeah.
just so you know, Christina is a dirty enabler. She just
It's accurate.
comes across as sweet and innocent.
Which she's dark and powerful.
Yeah,
Truly.
that's actually her stage name. Dark and powerful.
Time for some Stranahan's Diamond.
Slander. This is absolutely.
No, there's plenty of evidence. It's not.
Coming from Nova Scotia, New Brunswick.
There's no evidence that I would broadcast because then I wouldn't have it in my back pocket for blackmail anymore. But
And
Nova
even though the
Scotia-
borders are closed, I don't trust that you wouldn't get through.
there's also that.
And that's for me. Brad's a lot closer.
It's already happened once to me. I'm not risking it again.
Yeah.
It'd be crazy.
She'd be all like, hang on a second, they've got a Dutch hive mind. I'll just hurt Lance like a pin doll and it'll get Jeremy. I shouldn't give
that
her
person
ideas.
Lance would enjoy it. So
Richard, we did have a little bit of info from Brian, our area rep for Ardbeg, and I can't remember. Dave, if you're still watching, can you potentially remember when WeBC was quoted to come to Ontario? But for Nova Scotia at $78, I think I might maybe try and secure a bottle from. Hey, Dwyer.
Can I buy whiskey? Love
Nova
that.
Scotia price is $67. Yeah, so
I mean, the answer is
we will not see any. We will not see any Ardbeg under. How much is 10, Brad? Here.
like $100.
$80.
Yeah, so I was just gonna say 100. We will never see an Ardbeg under $100. So if the 10 is $100, then the Wee Beastie will be like 97.
Well, there goes moving to Canada for us.
Yeah,
we have other ways to get the Ontario supply. Thankfully, is not our big source.
yeah, $100 for the 10-year and $185 for Oogie and $199 for Corey.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We get pissed off when we see our Big Ten for I think like $60 or $70.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so it would be like 80-ish here, American.
Yeah. And it's somebody's programming like a satellite strike somewhere.
But the producer is doing something.
I would never do anything.
I don't know if I would call it producing, but it's something. No, definitely not. producing.
Wow. Nova Scotia. See, Newfoundland too. Newfoundland has crazy scotches sometimes for really, really good prices.
Yeah.
And obviously Nova Scotia is if they get committee releases for under 150 Canadian, that's amazing.
Yeah. No, Nova Scotia businesses have a lot of family connections with people in Scotland, right? So there would be a lot of distribution channels that I'm sure would be friendly.
Yeah.
Just
fair
because of the family connections from a couple hundred years ago.
Yeah. But I remember being super. I remember being super impressed with the selection and prices in Newfoundland because before my trip I was checking the websites and kind of scouting things out just to pick something up different, and not everything was listed on the website, so I had to go to a store in person. And I had planned to get Highland Park full volume. And then I saw Talisker 10 for like $70, and that's considerably cheaper. I think it's also around 100 in Ontario. Pardon me? You want me to tell? Okay, so Dwyer's dad. This is my father-in-law. Hardcore Newfie, fantastic guy. We go down there. We go down to the liquor store. This is like my first day there, first night there, because I wanted to have a whiskey by the fire. And we go in the store, and he's like, "What's am I getting for Ashley? Just vodka?" And then gets her. I'm like, "Yeah, just vodka. Doesn't matter. Like, pick her up." He goes and grabs it, and then I go and grab. I'm looking at all the whiskey. I finish up on the Talisker, and I'm going, and he's like, "No, let me buy it." I'm like, "No, trust me. Like, it's all good. I'm gonna pay for it." No, let me buy it. What is it? And it was like $75 for it. I was like, "Holy shit, buy 75," because like he drinks like Molson Canadian, and like all his friends drink like a $24 bottle of whiskey, but they finish it in one night. And he's like, "Geez, okay, yeah, you can pay for that." So I bought the whiskey, and then like throughout the rest of the week, whenever he would introduce me to somewhere, like we would go to all these cool places because he knows all these people and doing stuff, and we go there, and the first thing he says is like, "This is my son-in-law, Hayes, tell him about the bottle of whiskey." Like, it's literally like he was blown away, and then I'd be like, "Yeah, I got a bottle of whiskey." Guy buys a bottle of whiskey, $75, and then they're like, "Holy jeez, buy!" And like I'm like, "Oh my god, these guys don't understand that I still have some. Like, I don't smash a bottle in a night. Like, they think I'm dropping $70 a night on a bottle of whiskey, and
it's okay, Dan.
I cannot leave this bottle out because it's going to get popped and people are just going to make it disappear. But I don't care, because if they do, they do, right? I'm in Newfoundland. I'm having a great time.
It's all right, Dan. Brad and I will get you to smash the bottle in a night yet.
Oh,
we've already got you pouring adult
wine. I can do wine.
Yeah,
We'll get to there. It might take a 14-hour hangout, but we'll get you.
We've got you to a sunrise. We've done that once. That's one of our goals.
The most I've drank in the past like 10 years was Brad was in the presence. Probably like the last 3 times, the top 3 most liquor I've had in the past 10 years. Brad has been there.
When does that?
Dave's definitely been involved in probably 2 of those nights.
So
you're gonna have to be there, Dave. Someone's gonna need to carry me wherever I need to get to.
Dave, the problem is Brad's a dirty enabler, Christina's a dirty enabler, and I'm sweet and innocent.
Oh yeah, You're not suggestive. Okay. You're not enabling.
No,
not at all.
I'm the voice of reason.
Typical Mike.
Imagine if Jeremy was your good fucking angel on your shoulder. Like, holy shit.
Jeremy on one side saying, "Yeah, do it," and then I show up on the other side like, why not?
Yeah, right, Dave. Dave, yeah, shot for shot with me, and then because you could.
Dave shot for shot with Dan. Dan would die.
But by the time I'm passed out and done and all that, you're definitely in, like, completely, totally cool to drive wherever we need to legally. You wouldn't blow over because you can handle your whiskey, but I cannot. I can handle my whiskey, just not in the super high volume.
So here's the question, though, right? If we're there to watch Dan go shot for shot with Dave, inevitably we'd go shot for shot with Dave. So who's driving us home? Because Dave's definitely not going to be blowing up.
I'm staying wherever we're.
I'd say Dave.
I'm not going anywhere after that.
Dave's worth an average any two of us, I think. Maybe not any two of us. But me plus someone plus me, because I don't count as a full contestant here in this contest. I've never been a big drinker, and that's why we have haze pours.
Yeah,
mind you, I have been drinking. I have been enjoying this for a while.
Can you even taste that? Like,
this is the end of it. I have.
that's just the scent. That's how much people consume. All right, I'm going to shoot because more important people are calling.
All right, then.
That's a joke. That's obviously impossible, but jokes are jokes.
Yeah.
Puffs and Drams, same thing. I'm not a shooter type of guy, although I will admit to really enjoying Jaeger bombs. I love the taste of them. I don't know how those two things taste so fantastic together, but they do for me. Christina's like
20 years since I've had a Jaeger bomb.
Yeah, I haven't had one in quite some time, but I remember going like, why does these two things taste so bloody good together? But yeah, still even then I'm not doing more than like 3 inside of a 2-hour period, because not my cup of tea. I can, however, roll up some fatties, yo.
I think the last shot that I've actually enjoyed was a Manhattan Jello shot. Which is super weird, but
a Manhattan, like a full, complete Manhattan Jello shot.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
It's weird because your brain doesn't expect a Jello shot to taste like that.
Oh, Jim's going to get into the Jaeger. You take it easy there, Jim. Oh shit!
Oh dang! Dutch invasion.
Away from that man, by the way. Like, you pull out the Jaeger, it's done. It's over. He's getting trashed.
Yes, that's good to know. That
Excellent.
is good to know.
That's good information to keep stored.
Oh, Graham.
Jaeger, but once you Jaeger, you're done. He's drinking until he's blind.
Graham, I believe you sent me some of that Coloman, that 12-year single cask, and again, dying to get into those. Dying to.
Yeah, I switched to some Diamond Peak Stranahans a while ago, so I'm off.
That's actually, you know what? Based on your saying, pretty good. I actually picked some of that up a while back, like probably a year ago when you got that, maybe ish or something.
Something like that.
Yeah, because I had the like a fairly standard, not the Diamond Peak, whatever. I can't remember the release that it was, and I wasn't really impressed. It wasn't bad by any means. It certainly wasn't going to buy another one. And then you said the Diamond Peak was actually all right.
Yeah.
And like the previous weekend, I had enjoyed some of the nicest fucking whiskey I've ever had in my life. So for you to say that, I was like, oh, this guy says pretty good. For me, it must be fucking stellar. So I'm after it.
I enjoy it. I'm slowly getting through it. I mean, there's still plenty left, but
yeah,
that didn't last very long in our house. Diamond Peak didn't last long, and Victor's American did not last long.
See,
Michter's
that I
American
like
is good
Michter's
stuff,
American too,
yeah.
and that's saying something. That's saying something because you guys don't exactly prefer
No, it's definitely
American
far
stuff.
away from my usual
Yeah.
peat heavy stuff.
Yeah, both of you guys, and that says a lot. So y'all need to take note. I've never had a Michter's I didn't like, for the record. They're straight rye, the toasted barrel finish, the barrel strength rye was incredible. I've only had it once at the Spirit of Toronto whiskey gala. Super dill bomb, really enjoyed it, and even just the standard Michter's American whiskey. Which for me, it's at like 42.4% or something weird like that. But it's super, super easy to drink, really tasty.
Yeah,
So-
I haven't had the sherry cask one yet, but I've heard very good things about it.
Yeah, I saw it a few times, and then just never pulled the trigger. Wasn't too in because it was relatively high priced, I think. Puffs and Drams, if you can, I always forget. I'm sorry, Puffs and Drams. If you are, I think you are in Ontario, and if you are, let me know what the price was. If you can, okay, went on clearance for $63. Yeah, I'd probably
That's
give it
not
a
bad.
shot at $63.
Yeah.
Oh, you're in Milton, yeah. So you're in. I'm in Georgetown, buddy. So once things are a little more controlled and convenient, and our numbers keep dropping, and eventually when it becomes practical to have some sort of meetup, we'll be in touch.
Absolutely. I'm switching to some Crowded Barrel
Oh.
Alliance Wyoming, which is
Ooh.
technically a bourbon, I think, because just moving the barrel to Texas doesn't.
I
qualify
love the
it, so-
Alliance bottle.
Yeah, it's a Wyoming straight.
The Alliance bottles, the labels themselves are very
Yeah, the look of the bottles are really
Yeah.
cool. I really like those. I can't remember. Oh, so yeah, Dave is saying that Michael brought some to Dave's house one time, Brad. So maybe we did perhaps try it, and it was
Okay. Good.
just drowned amongst 25 other whiskeys.
Those
that we had.
gatherings, there tends to be just a few whiskeys floating around. Yeah, it's hard
Yeah.
to remember all of them.
It's so
sometimes.
impractical, but like all of us
Yeah.
bring as much as we can because we just do. There's no fucking way anyone is trying all of it, but you know,
No.
it's good to. It's spoiled for choice is it's a good problem to have.
It is.
I'm slightly upset our producer walked away because then he could have popped up Lance's comment that he had actually put on pants because of Jaeger.
What?
I can do that. There we go.
Awesome! That's wow. That's fucking. So,
Yikes.
Lance, my buddy, who used to own a couple bars, when one closed down, he had that Jaeger chiller, that big super unit that you put the bottle of Jaeger in, and it chills it out, so you can pour it chilled, and it's got all these neon lights and shit. And he had that in his house for a while. So yeah, probably a bad mix for somebody like yourself.
Yeah, I would have assumed it would have the opposite effect on pants. But...
yeah. Just the word Jaeger makes him put the pants on, but the actual, it's like in theory and practice. The Jaeger theory gets pants on, and then practice gets pants off.
Sure.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah, Graham, the Diamond Peak does have like a sweet berry note. I definitely remember from that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I absolutely love wine finishes. Like love them. Jaeger theory, that's right. That's a T-shirt right there. And then on the back it says Jaeger practice, and before the person reads the front to the back, in between you pull your pants down to add to the experience. Well, time for a next pour. And I don't know what I'm going to get into.
That'll be the next season of Devs. Yeah. Jaeger theory.
Jaeger theory.
Devs was so good.
Debs was good. Yeah, we finished that up. That was really good.
That little book I just enjoyed was actually from Dave K. So thanks, Dave. I really appreciate that, buddy, because I still haven't been able to get a bottle of that one. Really enjoyed it. This next one is actually from James Dennis, who is, I don't think he's checking us out tonight. I will be speaking sternly with him about that later.
Shameful.
I'm having some mic drop, which let's see if this is gonna. This has a lot of hype, I know, around it. This is my first time trying some mic drop.
Is there something stopping you, Lance? I know you have whiskey.
Yeah, like, do you guys have responsibilities or something right now? Like, is there no, I guess, like, what time? No, yep, I'm an idiot. I was going to ask what time it is there. Same fucking time it is here.
It's the same.
Oh, yeah, you guys are, looks like you guys are running low by that last post that you made like a month ago, Christina, when you were tipping your corks. You guys are running dangerously low. You can't afford that drink. Don't go for it, Lance. Save it for a time when you absolutely need that 70 bottles to actually drink, and
It's under 70. It is under 70.
Gotta boost those numbers up.
Me too. I'm totally under 70.
I'm definitely not. I think I'm at like 125.
I mean, that definitely doesn't
Something
count
like that.
Brad's whiskey here.
It still counts. That counts.
Right.
If you've
that
got
125
bottles,
doesn't count towards mine, so it definitely counts for them.
If it's on-
scores, so I don't know how much we have then.
So I don't know how many bottles of whiskey I own. Let's put it that way. I have 125-ish bottles here.
And does Brad's bottles also get dusted and corked?
Some of the Brad bottles had recently shown up, so they
No
didn't
need.
get dusted and corked because they're still in boxes. But yes, we do have a side bar of Brad's whiskey that is actually like a little display in our kitchen at this point that did get dusted and corked.
Awesome. That's fucking service, man.
I have very conflicted feeling about that.
But Lance is drinking Iron Wine.
Nice. That is
Can you bring me
super
some?
jealous because, first of all, Iron Root we just don't get, and second of all, it's the fucking Crowded Barrel Alliance, so it's like double jealous.
It is very tasty.
I'm kind of getting sick of the Elijah Craig. Could you bring me some of that, babe? Please? No.
No.
Oh
Harsh.
my goodness.
Fucking harsh.
Well, we're done in like 2 minutes anyway, so you can go stab him.
Fucking
Hey AJ,
Alzheimer's.
better late than never, buddy. Thanks for coming out, pal.
Cheers, man.
Better late than never is a very should also be one of our mottos. Cast strength, many cast strength mottos.
That seems right. That seems accurate. Yeah.
Oh my god, this is. Has anybody had this mic drop? L1901.
Oh, magical whiskey delivery.
Wow, that's the coolest arm I've ever seen. Yes.
How dare you? Gotta
This
put
is
the
a kid. This is a
explicit tag
children.
on
There's children
on
watching this,
YouTube video.
mister.
There's children watching this. You're in trouble.
That's probably true. There shouldn't be. Go to bed.
Oh god. Oh, Patrick, thanks for coming out, buddy. Cheers. Appreciate it. Oh, look where we're at already, eh?
Yeah, that is a
Wow, this is really good.
It is. It is.
Did I freeze?
No, you're good.
You're good. <laughs>
Yeah, that Iron Root Alliance is good stuff.
You're good.
That Iron Root Alliance is good stuff. Yeah, 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 that Iron Root Alliance is In theory, there's still at least most of one there that will travel here at some point. But I can't really make any guarantees about any of that whiskey that I have stored there, I guess. But in theory, it'll be traveling back here at some point when it becomes legally viable. Oh, and Dan died again.
Uh-oh. Brad, it's just you and me. The next 10 seconds.
It's a good thing that the stream is over because Ed is going to be coming on anytime now if he hasn't started yet.
All right.
Oh, he's back.
Oh, there he is.
Just in time to say goodbye.
Just in time. Basically, I mean, yeah, basically. We don't want to step on Ed's much more professional and worthwhile stream.
Yeah, we don't want to step on Ed's giant Irish Viking toes.
Yeah.
So
He's got like a real guest this week and everything. So,
oh shit. Okay, well then yeah, everyone hop on over to Rocket Review.
yeah.
I'd like to extend a very special thank you to our special guest, the one and only Christina Zerbali, High
Absolutely.
Priestess of Pete. And thanks everybody for joining us. Had a blast as usual. I hope you had some fun.
And anyone who's still around in an hour, there's probably going to be an After Dark. I don't know who's going to be here at that point,
Yeah,
but you know,
But
we'll figure it out. It'll be fun.
it'll be a good time.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.